Okay. So today is Thursday, February 16th, and we were actually talking about Hineni, meaning here I am, the greater part of me to do the good, or here I am, I'm totally present. So go on. You were starting to say,
Yeah, so let me just get rid of this screen. Uh, yeah, I've been having well, I've had some tests done and they were kind of mixed. So I've got too much glucose not in my blood, but in my urine,
ooh,
and slightly high
ooh,
liver enzymes, which is not. I've had that before,
uh-huh.
but since I had the heart episode, I did. I've given up alcohol completely. So that is, I know, but never mind. I found a wonderful substitute. So
Oh,
um,
good.
yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not terribly. I don't feel terribly deprived, but but just recently, and of course, I had this fall, and I did fracture a rib. By the way, found
Oh,
that.
you did. Well,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, I fractured a rib. It wasn't a bad fracture, and there's nothing they have to do about it.
Right,
It's
except that we can just keep doing this
Yeah,
to help. Right.
yeah, and
Okay.
that has helped. It has helped a lot. As a matter of fact, I have no pain whatsoever in my rib.
Yeah.
So that's great. And also my cholesterol is very good. So it was a mixed result. The glucose we're looking into, and it might be because of the medication I'm taking for my heart.
Oh.
Because I take something called Jardiance, and it said it. I mean, everybody I talked to said,
Oh.
uh, yes, that would raise your glucose levels in your urine.
Oh.
But
And then would it cause the liver enzymes to go up because it's working hard to clear it through?
Lipitor, my other medication for cholesterol, that affects the liver. And so I'm being monitored quite regularly, which is a good thing. But I
So
want
I
to,
have a question. I have a
yeah,
question.
tell me.
In just asking, instead of Lipitor, what if you used red rice yeast extract?
I'd have to talk to my cardiologist. I better write it down because never heard of it.
So
Uh,
I have my husband on red rice yeast extract
yeah.
for his cholesterol, and it keeps his numbers decent.
Okay.
Um, and so it brought them down from what they were years ago. And this is like 20 years later, and his numbers are still lower. His LDL could be better, but what can I say? He eats French fries and potato chips every day of
Oh,
his life.
you're joking.
No, there is
That's
no,
amazing.
there's very little self control. And
Right.
so what do I do? So, I mean, he does have some self control, but not when if there's a French fry, I mean, you
He's going
know,
to eat it.
he's going to eat them. And so,
Can you, Eleanor, can you say what that is again? Red what?
red rice yeast extract. I'm going to show it to you actually.
Yeast. I have to get you back again because I've lost you. I can
You
hear you.
lost me. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it right now. Hold on.
Oh, here it is. Here you are.
Okay.
Nope, no,
So,
no, 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 no.
where what's it? Hold on. I'm looking.
Oh,
Ah, wow, I don't know where it is. Okay, well, okay. Here's the other thing. Let's okay. Hold on. Let me look it up here.
well, I can look it up. It's not a problem.
Red rice yeast extract. Okay. And the benefits are, hold on. Red yeast rice is capable of lowering blood cholesterol and total blood cholesterol levels. While the supplement is generally considered it safe, it could have potential side effects as a statin cholesterol drugs. So, um,
Ah,
yeah. So, but they could have the same potential, but much less likely.
Right.
Much less, and this is from the Mayo Clinic. So I'm telling you, much less likely. The other thing is, whenever you're taking a cholesterol lowering medication, it
Yes.
blocks the body's ability to create CoQ enzyme.
Okay.
CoQ enzyme is essential for heart muscle functioning. So when people are on Lipitor, those kind of drugs long term, they end up with heart disease very often, not all the time. But why? Because those cholesterol lowering drugs, not all, but the ones that work like Lipitor works, um, uh, block the body's ability to make CoQ enzyme. CoQ enzyme is necessary for the heart to function. So if a person is taking a Lipitor type of drug, they need to then add CoQ.
Okay. 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 So I've never heard of this. CoQ10.
CoQ. Yep, CoQ10.
Where do I get it?
Or you could get it at any health food store.
Okay.
I'm going to
CoQ.
write CoQ10 enzyme. Hold on.
Okay. I'll get it.
Okay. Here, let's even look this up from the Mayo. So you'll see I'm pulling up. Um, okay, so here. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Right? So it's an
Yeah.
antioxidant that the
Mm.
body produces naturally.
Hmm.
And the cells use CoQ10 for growth and maintenance. It actually works with mitochondrial activity. So
Hmm.
it keeps the mitochondria super healthy so the cells stay healthy. Levels
Hmm.
of CoQ tend to decrease as we age, and it's also lower in people with heart disease and those who
Hmm.
take cholesterol lowering medications called statins.
Hmm.
And the reason why is the statins block the ability for the CoQ enzyme to even be made. And
Wow.
the CoQ enzyme is a necessary uh, nutrient for the heart muscle to function. So here, evidence, heart conditions. CoQ10 has been shown to improve symptoms of congestive heart failure. Although findings are mixed, blah, 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 to help reduce blood pressure, some research also suggests that when combined with other nutrients, CoQ10 might aid in the recovery of people who've had bypass heart valve and heart valve surgeries. Helps with diabetes, Parkinson's, statin-induced myopathy. Some research suggests that CoQ10 might help ease the muscle weakness and pain sometimes associated with taking statins. It's sad that that's written so lightly because that's a
Yeah.
big deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep.
So, okay. So, and then, you can look it up.
I will
And
definitely look it up and I'll just order it immediately.
yeah, now, possible interactions, if are you on warfarin or
No.
Gentabin? Okay.
I am
So,
on other things though, so I'll check it out. I
okay,
could
so
check it out.
interactions are the only thing possible with anticoagulants, with blood thinners.
I do take blood thinners.
What blood thinners do you take?
I take Brilinta
Okay,
and aspirin.
okay. Well, aspirin, I would imagine, is not an issue.
Okay.
Because it's not that kind of it's not a heavy duty drug. Do
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But talk to your
I
cardiologist,
will. I will.
and hopefully your cardiologist knows about this. But if your cardiologist knew about it, your cardiologist would have recommended it.
Absolutely.
So bring this information from the Mayo Clinic, pull up another one from NIH, another really important
Yeah.
site.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
use both
because
sides. Yeah.
yeah, so and I will tell you, so my husband, I have him on red rice yeast and the CoQ, and we just got a physical, and his heart is as strong and healthy as possible.
Mm.
And so, you know, it's and it could have been anyway, but I will
Mhm.
tell you his cholesterol is decent,
Mhm. Mhm.
decent. The thing that he has to do is lower his LDL, not through a drug, but through diet and lifestyle.
Mm, mm, mm. Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's an important thing because that can plug up arteries. So,
Yeah.
the thing is so that's what I'm saying to you. Let's see how you put a whole protocol together for you that can really help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, should because I don't get that much guidance on things like supplements. I'm taking, the ones that have been suggested to me, like vitamin C and vitamin A and vitamin B complex and
So it's
D.
interesting that they have you on vitamin C. Does your cardiologist know you're on C?
Yeah, they all know I'm on all of these.
Then they're not going to have a problem with CoQ enzyme.
Oh,
The,
good. Oh,
the
good.
reason why, because if they say that you're on blood thinners, vitamin C is a blood thinner.
Oh,
So,
okay.
it does as a side effect. It thins the blood, right? So it
Mhm.
doesn't get
I've ever
chunky and
heard
people,
that.
yeah, it thins the blood so people don't get chunky strokes from chunky blood. You know, blood tends to get thicker as we get older. We get more
Yes,
dehydrated,
I
gets
heard
thicker.
that. Yes, I heard that.
Right. So we can throw a clot. So if they see, your cardiologist sees you're taking vitamin C and you're taking aspirin and you're taking the other little thinner and doesn't have a problem with it, then I doubt your cardiologist will have a problem with CoQ.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Okay, good, good. But I
Just
will
saying.
run it back by
Oh
her. I'm trying to think I'm taking turmeric or
yeah. Another blood thinner. And does your cardiologist know that?
yes.
Fantastic. You'll be fine with CoQ. So that's why I'm saying if you show her that, you're taking C and turmeric, then you're going to be good with CoQ. And the
Oh,
CoQ
okay.
will strengthen the functioning of the muscles and
Fantastic.
not just in your heart, because the heart is not a smooth muscle fiber. I believe it's striated. Hold on one sec. Let me just look this up. Um, heart muscle striated. Striated or smooth? Yeah, okay. Duh. So the cool part is the heart
Mm,
muscles are striated muscles, muscle tissue. We have two types of muscle tissue. We have striated muscle tissue and we have
which is
smooth
like
muscle
stripe.
tissue. It's got streaks of
Right. That's
muscle.
what I thought.
It's
Yeah.
fibrous,
Right.
fibrous.
Got it.
Okay. That means we can purposely contract the muscle and purposely release the muscle.
Got it.
So our muscles in our body, like our biceps, for example, everything is striated. That means I'm going to pick something up and bring it to me on purpose.
Got it.
Smooth muscle fibers, we have no control over, and they're not meant to be muscle man. Those are your blood vessels. So smooth muscle fibers, they're part of the autonomic nervous system and they open and close. Other things will affect them to become thicker, become thinner, to balloon out, to blow, to get plugged up, to get scarred up, from calcification, all that. That's different. But smooth muscle fibers, they're on the autonomic nervous system and they expand and they contract from other reasons.
Mhm.
Striated are the strong muscle men, which is why if the heart's overworking, it can become enlarged,
Mhm.
too large,
Mhm.
too much of a muscle because it's working so hard.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because a person has severe obstructive sleep apnea and they're bearing
Uh,
down and the heart
uh,
gets too big. And
uh,
so now the heart becomes too big and then
mm,
therefore it becomes flabby
mm,
and it can't do its job of contracting and
mhm.
moving like this in this
Got
circular
it.
or oppositionally circular, meaning two ways. It can't do its functioning.
Okay.
So the thing is CoQ enzyme will go into it'll go into all the muscle tissue because it gets into the mitochondria,
Mhm. Mhm.
which means, let me get back to what I was trying to say in the first place. I can't believe I remembered. It's unlike me. I usually forget. If it's going to help the muscle tissue of the heart, it will help the muscle tissue of all the striated
Everything
muscles.
else. Yeah.
So to strengthen your shoulders, to strengthen your hips, to strengthen the muscles around your knees, to strengthen in your back, to strengthen in your quads so that movement becomes easier.
Brilliant.
I
I
know.
can't wait to get it.
Ah,
So it'll show me how much to get and stuff like that.
well, I would never go lower than 200 milligrams. I'm just saying, but I'm not a doctor. But I'm
Okay.
telling you what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go lower than 200 milligrams. I have my
Okay.
husband on 200 milligrams
Okay.
because the thing is you need a lot when you're on a lot of statin drugs.
Okay.
If you're on whatever dose statin
Yeah.
drug, you need that. So why do I have my husband on it since he's not on a statin? Two reasons. One, he's getting older, so the body makes less. That's number one. So let's give it to him. Number two, because he is taking red rice extract and it can act like a statin without
Mm,
the really bad side effects.
mm. Got
So,
it.
with all of those reasons,
Mhm.
it's red rice yeast extract is natural. It
Mm,
just that's where the properties of these cholesterol lowering medications come from. So,
mhm,
probably one day, the I'm sure somewhere in research, somebody noticed a certain culture that tends to eat certain foods. Then they, doesn't have cholesterol issues. And then they run a breakdown on the foods. And that's how they finally got red rice yeast extract.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Okay. And so they go, well, we can't sell that and make a lot of money. So we got to turn it into a drug that's patented. But
mm.
there's other stuff added to it. And that's other stuff is the stuff that people don't react to, or because it's not a pure form, people react to. There's many reasons why people react to.
Yeah.
So might as well go for the supplement if you can.
Well, I will definitely run it by them. Yeah,
Right. And then
definitely.
you add the CoQ because that's what we need anyway since childhood.
Yeah.
And for my husband, I have him on 200 milligrams
Okay. Okay. Okay.
a day
I will
in the morning.
definitely do it.
But I'm not telling you what to do.
No, no, I understand that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
So
tell me
that's
about
good.
yeah, tell me about your kishkas.
My kishkas. Now tell
Yeah,
me what that is
you were
again.
saying your digestive tract. You wanted to talk about that?
Yeah, it's just sluggish and I think, I have every once in a while I'll have a little, sort of low abdomen, sort of not really a pain, but a kind of a, spasm. And then it goes
Where
away.
where in the
It's
low
different places, but it's very low. It's right near my, the reproductive part of the
is
body.
it low on the left, low in the middle, low on the right?
Yes. Sometimes on the right, sometimes on the left, sometimes in the middle. So it's not always in the same place. And
Oh.
it's a tiny discomfort that just tells me that, you know, I'm not in the best of health just now. And sometimes I feel very slightly queasy, but my appetite is good, and these things go away immediately. So they're not persistent, but I'm not, I don't feel like everything is working beautifully just now.
First of all, can you take probiotics?
You mean like yogurt?
Yogurt with
Yes, I can.
acidophilus?
I do anyway, but yes, I can.
Okay, so what I wonder if when the gut is slightly off, right?
Mhm.
Because all that down there
Is the
is
gut. Yeah.
it's a lot of large intestine,
Yeah.
right? So on the lower left side is the descending colon of the large intestine.
Hmm.
On the right side here is where where the small intestines meet the ascending colon of the large intestine.
Mm,
So again, large intestine. And
mm,
then under here
Mhm.
is where the descending colon goes down,
Mm.
it comes back up at an angle and then hits the rectum, connects with the rectum, which is
Oh.
about 5 inches long.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so if there's something with the large intestine that's needing support, like a probiotic,
Mhm.
the vagus nerve branches all over the intestines.
Mhm.
It could be giving feedback
Mm.
through the vagus nerve up,
Mm.
giving the sense of slight nausea.
I see. I see. I see. I see.
So if you feed the intestines good probiotics,
Mhm.
all of that might feel better and it doesn't neurochemically feed, communicate to the vagus nerve to transmit up ick, a sensation of ick.
Great. 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 I will definitely do that, but I have another question related to this. What
Okay.
should I avoid eating if I feel this way? I eat uh nuts and fruits and vegetables and hummus and tzatziki, which is yogurt, very little of anything else, very little meat, a little fish. That's my diet, basically.
So hummus is a garbanzo bean. Sometimes hummus is heavy.
Oh, okay. Didn't know
Sometimes
that.
it's, yeah, well, it is. Sometimes it's a heavy food. It's not a nauseous feeling food, but it's a heavy feeling food.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't say, I mean, I was raised on Middle Eastern food,
Mm,
but I can't eat so much hummus.
okay. Okay.
I can eat X amount, but then after that it's too heavy in my gut.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'll keep that in mind.
for each person it's different. When
Mhm.
you eat the hummus, check in, notice,
Mhm. Mhm.
because you do stop eating the hummus at a certain point.
Mhm.
And so you probably are aware, okay, I feel good to here, and then I'm
Mhm.
good. I don't need more.
Mhm.
That's why I'm saying your diet is good. Hummus can cause bloating a little
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm.
I'm not
Okay.
ever saying don't eat hummus. I'm glad you eat it. It's such a healthy food.
Mm,
But if too much can cause a little bit of bloating and give
okay.
that icky feeling. So um, in that case, that I'm not saying don't. I'm saying add probiotics.
Yes, yes, I will definitely do that, starting
And
today.
and maybe you add a little aloe vera.
And how do I get that and in what
You
form?
can you can get aloe vera. Let's see if I have any or if I threw it out. One sec. So glad we're having this conversation. Oh,
I am too. I never thought to ask you these things.
I know. Wow. Here. So, look, here's one.
Aloe
Lily
vera
of the Valley.
juice,
Aloe vera juice with the inner fillet.
inner inner
Fillet.
fillet.
Fillet. Fillet. The inner fillet is, here's the aloe leaf.
Oh, I see.
They break open the aloe leaf and there's meat on the inside
Oh,
that's like the heart in it.
I got it.
That's the inner fillet.
Okay. So aloe vera, I'm writing this down. Sorry.
Okay,
Uh,
hold on.
just a minute. Come on. Okay. Aloe vera juice.
Hold on. Image. Let's see if I can
Vera
get an image.
juice with inner
Oh,
fillet.
there's so many too. Hold
Great.
on.
That is definitely gonna. And you just drink it like juice?
You put it's kind of gross.
Oh,
Um, but you put it in a juice.
oh,
Put a
okay.
little bit. My mother never felt gross by any of it, but God bless her. So she could just go on. I'm just trying to show you. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So let me get to Okay, see right here?
Oh, yeah, there's masses.
Okay, you see, that's the inner fillet.
All right, I got it. Okay.
See? When they
Yep.
split it open,
Mhm.
that's the inner fillet. That's the part that's so good. You'll see
Okay.
all these companies that make it, you
Mhm.
know, well, they're all
Well, this
Lily of
looks
the Valley.
like the same company.
Yeah, it
So
is.
what is it?
How about that? So, um, yeah, because they're
Okay.
amazing. I mean, and
I'll
so it,
definitely look. I'll get it.
yeah, yeah.
uh, Everybody you talk to tells you different things about what to eat and what not to eat, right? Should I be eating? Is it necessary for me to eat meat?
Well, okay, so listen. At a certain, as we get older,
Hmm.
the hydrochloric acid levels in the stomach
Mm.
go down.
Hmm.
Not just the hydrochloric acid in the stomach, but there's another enzyme, the parietal cells inside the lining of the stomach make an
Hmm.
enzyme. So between that enzyme and the hydrochloric acid, they break down meat really well to turn into the amino acid, to break the protein down, to turn into amino acids that can turn into neurotransmitters to help our brain and nervous system function better.
Right.
So, this is why we went from being small people to when people started eating meat, we got bigger and
Ah,
stronger.
got it.
It's a big deal. So, um, but as we get older and those levels go down and we don't break down the meat, this is why I think, often will see older people not eat much meat, is because it sits in the stomach
Mm.
and just gets rancid.
Mm.
It just goes bad. It just sits in there really heavy.
Wow.
So, unless, let's say, a person is eating a nice vegetable dish, lots of good,
Mm. Hmm.
vegetables with a little bit of meatloaf.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It's the meatloaf's already broken down.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
You see what
Or
I'm saying?
or hamburger meat.
Hamburger meat,
Yeah.
not a steak, isn't broken down. No matter what we chew it like, it
Hmm.
doesn't break down unless you're, you know, a young person. So,
Got it.
now what happens when older people stop eating meat? They stop making muscle too. There's muscle failure
Ah.
because they're
Okay.
not getting those. I don't care what all the um vegans say.
Yeah, and I have always been a meat eater. As a matter of fact, I really miss it. I really miss it. But I've been staying away from it because they always say heart healthy, this
No,
and that.
not true. Not true. Not
Okay.
true.
All right.
No. I mean, listen, yesterday was my husband's birthday and I made him a bolognese.
Oh,
So
happy birthday to your husband.
thank you. He just turned
Oh, nice.
70. But
Aw.
so the thing is that while that was not a heart healthy one because there was, and certainly not kosher, there was a little bit of butter in it, little, but there was milk in it. But I didn't have milk, so I used half and half.
Mm.
And I used half of that amount and watered the rest down. But the thing, so but the meat was 97% fat free. Do you see what I'm
Right.
saying? So it was like I
Yes.
was trying to go back and forth between it and making it really good.
Yeah.
So, um, but the thing is, it it'll be tragic. It will be tragic to no proportion when policies and politics force veganism on everybody in the world.
Mm, mm,
It will
mm,
be tragic because there will be X amount of people that cannot thrive on it.
mm, mm, mm.
And most veganism is prepared, packaged
Yes, of
food.
course.
It's
Of
not.
course.
It's not homemade
Fresh.
food.
Yes. Got
It's
it.
different when it's homemade food,
I
but
got it.
and
Yeah.
then they want you to, okay, well, now we'll get your powder. We'll get your protein in a powder too. I'm like, that's not the way to do it. So,
No,
you
I
know,
agree with you. I agree with
and
you.
I eat that much meat,
Yeah. Okay.
but I eat a good amount of chicken,
Right.
um, and I eat fish. When I do eat meat, So if my husband orders a thing of meat that's this big, I will split it. I take this much, and my body says thank you.
Yes,
I
got it.
check in. Does my
Right.
body need more? If
Right.
my body needs more, I'll take more, but usually my body's happy now. But the last thing I want, Elise, the last thing I want is my muscles to get smaller and smaller and do the failure to thrive thing as
Mm,
getting older.
right. Right. Okay.
So the muscles need that, but
Okay.
you can only
Mhm.
go as far as your digestive tract will allow you to.
Exactly.
That's why people take apple cider vinegar. They'll take a shot of apple cider vinegar, by the way, loaded in probiotics.
Oh.
They'll take a shot of apple cider vinegar just before they eat.
Oh.
Why? Because it puts in probiotics into them and it increases supposedly the acid in the stomach to break down the food,
Oh.
to turn into the neurotransmitters and turn into muscle tissue.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You have to ask yourself, why is it that when people get older, their muscles become really tiny,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we
Totally.
want to keep feeding muscle in the healthy way.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that could be being maybe 89% plant based with a small percent of being
Well, yeah. I
animal
mean,
based.
that's the way most Middle Eastern and Mediterranean people eat anyway. So
Right.
if I know that, and I've lived in Italy and I lived in France, and I know how they all eat, especially around the Mediterranean. So it's not hard for me to envisage a diet that would be very healthy. It's just that I'm finding, and this is just some me personally, that since I've been having so many health issues, I have been less motivated to cook, and I need to get over that because you know I've always eaten very, very healthily.
I
But
mean, can you do where you do ground turkey? Can you make a turkey loaf? I mean, I make
no,
a
I can't cook anything like that. I have to be on the top of the stove first of all. I do very, very little. I do nothing in my oven, but I do like
oh,
vegetables with a little bit of meat and in a pasta. I mean, Italian stuff. I do that.
yeah,
I used
yeah,
to do that
yeah.
all the time, and I
Wow.
would do a small uh, fillet of salmon with vegetables or salad. So that's the kind of thing I always did, but I'm not doing that right now. So I have to
Yeah.
get myself to do it. I will do it because your
Yeah.
your advice is
Yeah.
very convincing.
Because I
And
think a lot of the hummus can start causing lower abdominal discomfort.
well, maybe that's the reason. And so I take your point. I take your point. Um, is there a source that would help me with all of this things? Like, I mean, you're saying apple cider vinegar, and you're saying aloe vera, and is there a
Aloe
source?
vera for healing. Aloe
Right,
vera is more for healing.
right,
Apple cider vinegar, just splash it in a salad.
right,
Splash it on your
right.
vegetables with a little bit of sea salt if you can do the sea salt. Take herbs. It's so easy to make a good salad dressing with
Hmm,
olive oil, a splash of apple cider vinegar,
hmm.
and dried herbs de Provence.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Right? You
yeah.
don't even need to add the salt to it if you don't wanna add the salt to it,
Right.
and that's getting you the apple cider vinegar,
Hmm.
and do it every day so that
Mm,
you're getting a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar
mm, mm.
in there. It just wakes up the digestion.
Right, right. Got it.
Now my mother, she could do a shot of apple cider vinegar. I would try and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's burning all the way down." My mother, "Oh, it's so good."
She sounds like a force of nature, your mother.
Completely, yes.
I
Complete
still remember the thing you told me about how she would always have her hands in her jeans so that her elbows were back. I do that all the time, by the way, because of your mother.
Oh my God. But see, the thing is that it took me the longest time to figure it out because I'm going, Mom, what are you doing with your hands in your pockets? That's not a smart thing. In Feldenkrais, that means what are you stopping from moving? And if you fall forward and your hands are in your pockets, you won't be able to get them out.
Right.
Right? She goes, it brings my shoulders back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, it really does.
Yeah.
But it's like, boy, just don't do it while you're walking.
Right. It doesn't work when
Just
you're walking. Yeah, I
And
found
you
that
know what
out
I
too.
noticed? All my husband, along with his older friend, with all of his friends, same age, as they're getting older, they're all starting to walk with their hands in their pockets.
Oh, no kidding. Interesting.
And I go, "Oh my goodness.
Not a good
It's
idea.
not it's not if you fall, it's when you fall." "Oh, I'll just take my hands out of my pocket." I go, "Do you want me to Google that and show you the chances of you getting your hands out of your pocket? When your hands are in here, your hands aren't gonna come out in a fall. The instinct is forward, and
Yeah.
they're trapped.
Yep.
They're trapped in the pocket and then a face plant. Not me." I go, "Oh, yeah, whatever. Sure, you gotta be kidding." But the greater question is, because my father used to ask me this, because he'd say, "Notice who walks with their hands in their pockets, and you have to ask yourself why."
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
So
okay.
the thing is what's happening when we're walking with our hands in our pockets is because we're already losing this contralateral
Yes,
walking.
yes, 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 of course.
So what happens is the hands are just hanging, and it
Mhm.
and it doesn't feel good because the stagnation of lymph and blood and fluid hangs in the arms. So we bring the arms up like this and we walk.
Yeah, I
These
see, I
feel a little better.
see,
So
I
I can
see.
tell why they're doing that. And I'm like, okay, we got stuff to work on.
Yeah,
You
because if you
see,
just
I
take
don't
your hands out of your pockets, then you
They
have
go
the
right back
movement.
in. They go right back in. I have done an experiment just by saying, "Just take your hands out of your pockets." Okay. In 15 seconds, one hand is already like it's like a kid with a finger in the nose. One hand is already going in the pocket, and within 10 more minutes, the other
I
hand's in
love
the
it.
pocket.
I
Every
love it.
time.
Uh,
So it's funny, right? But the
It is
thing is,
very funny.
there's a
But
dis
yeah, it's a kind of a guy thing too.
it's a guy thing, but women will tether onto the
Yeah,
purse.
on their purses. Yeah,
Right?
totally,
Or they'll carry the
totally,
purse in the front. So here's the
totally.
thing. This is why when we do these Ruthie Alon lessons, right? And the hands are on the lap
Mm. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Oh, I
right,
love
we
that.
bring this, we
I
bring this,
love that. I love oh,
right?
and we haven't done it that way where you've taught me about gliding the shoulder blades with the elbows, which I do all the time. As a matter of fact, I always move my arms with my elbows because it keeps my shoulders very comfortable.
Okay, so here is, oh my God, this is so wonderful. Let's see if I needed another, get my whole kitchen here, but okay, so
Um, and it also I also want to ask you. Well, I want to ask you two things before we finish. So I'll remember. But go
okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so what happens is we can just start by sliding one hand forward and one hand back. I'm already taking you 10 steps into it, right?
Okay.
So because originally it'll just be one hand, then
Yes,
back.
I understand. I understand.
But so I'm just going to say, let's go with one hand forward and one hand back. And as they come to the middle, your body rolls down. And as the one hand goes forward and the other back, the body looks up.
Got it.
And
Like the
as they
way we
come
did
back
with
to
the.
the middle, the body's down. And as they come back forward and up,
I love it. I love the way it feels.
I know. Because what you're doing is you're waking up
Mm,
this, uh, it's a, it's a,
mm,
right, it's this walking, this kind of movement. Whatever animal does
mm.
this, right?
Cats.
It's,
Cats.
yes,
Right?
thank you. Okay, cats. So you're waking up, that kind of walking. And now do it where you keep the head in the middle, but the body goes up and down.
I want to ask you something. Can I also add to this beautiful mix my visualization of the laser beam between my sternum uh and my yeah,
Yes,
spine,
no,
because I
okay.
do that all the time too,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
because I love
But
that image. It's
that's
very
a beautiful image to do with this, but and what I'd like you to do is in this lesson also go back out of the laser and experience your whole body. If you
okay.
go in the laser only, you're going to
Okay.
stay just in
Huh,
this one area. So what I
got it.
want you is to experience everything up and down your legs in this up and down mix.
Mm, mm.
See what I'm saying?
Yes,
And
I
then
do.
even feel, you'll even feel something that happens in your feet. What happens in the bottom of one foot and
Mm,
the other? And then come back in the middle and rest for a moment.
yeah. When I'm doing that, one of my lessons with the Kaiser Feldenkrais practitioner uh, was talking about when you do that, your your knee naturally goes, the opposite knee goes forward, and the opposite knee then goes forward. Is
Correct.
that something to encourage?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, got it.
There's
I'll
there's so
wait.
many steps
I'll
in the
wait.
lesson, right? So right now, keep your head in the middle. Let's undifferentiate the head. Open your eyes, sliding the hand one forward and one back. And then as you roll back, the hands go in the middle, and then one hand goes back and one goes forward, and the head stays in the middle. And then as you slide the hands towards the middle, the head is still in the middle, the body rounds out, and then the body arches up as one hand goes forward and the other goes back.
Oh, yes.
See, that's different than the knee thing.
It is different.
It's a different lesson than the knee thing.
Fine.
Now come back to the middle. And now again, slide one forward, one back, and you'll notice one knee goes a little bit, but not much.
Right.
Not much. Not like the other lesson where the knee goes a lot.
Okay.
It's just moving a
Allowing
little.
it.
Yeah, just allowing, but it's not much of a movement because we're working with this. Do you see the pelvis? We're
I
working
do.
with this. We're not working with this plane. We're not working with the forward back plane of the pelvis. We're adding the pelvis rocking forward and back. So the knee will go a tiny bit, maybe a half an inch, but not much.
And the pelvis rocking back and forth is a product of the
No,
whole spine.
well, yes, what we're doing is we're creating the whole body in an
Yes.
undulation.
In an
Undulation,
undulation. That's what, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yes, you're
right.
absolutely. I understand that. I understand that. Okay.
Yeah, so you think
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
whole body moving in an undulation, and you
Oh,
almost
I
can
just
hear,
thought that. I just thought
right.
that.
And it's like you see a giraffe
Yeah,
where they walk, it's that kind of undulation.
wonderful.
You see, that's very different than the lesson that the other lesson is, which is forward and back, and the body
I
moves in the
see.
front. That's a
I see.
different thing. We're working in a biological lesson here, not a mechanical lesson.
I understand.
But in the mechanics, there is a little bit of forward and back.
Right. but it
Undulation is just movement, you know, it's not only one way. There's other movements that go with it. It's freeing
mm,
it all up to do what it does.
mm,
But here you're keeping the head quiet. The
mhm.
head will go up and down, but it's not, the chin doesn't go closer to the chest. And then just come back to the middle. And tell me if when you stand and walk, if you would feel the need to put your hands in your pockets now.
Never.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Um,
See, so when we have that movement, we have that ability for that kind of ancient propulsion
mm,
of undulation.
yes.
We'll never get stuck with our hands in our pockets.
Right. 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 Um,
You wanted
there,
to ask me something
yes,
else.
I have two things I
Do it.
wanted to ask you today. One
Mm.
of them is related to this because I am walking better since doing most of the things that I do because of our lessons. And I want to expand on that. I want to, you know, celebrate and enjoy that. Um, I've been having some success with a walker when I remember to invite my sternum to be alive, and I invite the bottom of my sacrum or my tailbone to be alive, so
Lovely.
that that sort of anchors me and allows me many, many times to step without pain whatsoever. So I'm actually being supported by my poor little legs. So, so
Leggies.
yeah, totally. So I want to expand on that, and I thought uh, I want to I get to a point sometimes when I stand up where I actually feel normal, so that I feel that my skeleton is really the way it was before I had all of this arthritis. So I wanted to talk to you about that because I thought maybe you could help me with a standing uh, uh, exercise.
Absolutely. There's so much we can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that, but we've been doing mostly sitting because I haven't been able to.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Would you be willing to wait till our next lesson and I will
Yes, of
put
course.
something together?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
hold on.
Because what
Let
I'm
me,
doing now needs time anyway.
yes.
So,
Um,
but I can use what you just taught me now. I
okay,
can definitely put that in the mix, and that will help, I'm sure. In any
absolutely.
case.
Let me just find, I want to put that, here we go. Oh, now that just knows that. Okay. Open, please. And standing with the walker, right?
Or without. No, I like to stand on my own because that helps me. If I just stand on my own and try to just relax, very often things happen that are very good, very encouraging.
I'm already coming up with lessons.
Great, great. I knew you would.
Okay, good. This is great.
Okay,
So
so we'll do
I'll
that.
play with
Yes,
it. I'll play
great.
with it. And
Thank you. Thank you.
you have now, when you're doing this with the hands, this undulation, this lesson is a blend of rocking the pelvis,
Mm,
all these things that we've done, this movement of the shoulder blades that gets in it, this walking back of the shoulder blades. So keep working on that.
I
It's going to
will. I will.
help us to the next lesson. These are
Perfect.
going to be crucial.
Perfect. Yay.
I love doing this with you. So these will be crucial to the step to that,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
because this is going to help
Mm,
with the hands
mm,
moving,
mm,
really with the hands getting this thing,
mhm.
okay? And then you're going to work on the ribs to give the love, the ribs, so that your ribs are movable when we're
Yes.
walking. So
Yeah.
we're going to create that in the lessons.
Oh,
Bring your
good. Oh, good.
bring your poles
Yeah,
and your
I have them ready.
uh
Mhm.
bring
My walker.
poles and walker with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and we will have that prepared.
Okay. There was one other thing I wanted to ask you. Uh, m- m- uh, I do not have a good chair. I don't own a good chair because all my chairs are 150 to 200 years old and they're beautiful, right? So the chair I'm sitting on now is a bergère. I mean, it's a big armchair, which I love and very comfortable.
Mhm.
However, uh, it is what it is. It's cushy, and if I'm sitting in the front of it, it's not bad. It's a little low, but it's not bad, and I'm able to do the Feldenkrais. I can feel my sit bones. I know where they are anyway, so I can you know sit relatively well, but I'm not comfortable sitting without the back support all the time. I'm not
Sure.
acclimatized to that yet. So
Right.
what I wanted to know is what I try to do when I am sitting back is to make sure that my that I'm sitting on my sit bones anyway, even though
Right.
I am using back support. And I wondered if there was anything that you can suggest besides
Mm,
getting a new chair, which I can't really afford just now.
yeah.
But
I mean, I sit in my kitchen chair, this is just you
which is a
know,
really, I'm sure it's a very good chair.
it
But I
is a
don't
good
have
chair.
kitchen chairs because I have a bar kitchen, and I have
Yeah.
dining room chairs, which are
Right.
200 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what to say about how to make your chairs more comfortable, with like different paddings and put a pillow. I'm the queen of I have pillows around me. And there were times where even sitting in that, when I would give my lessons, the way I could do it is I would lean back against there,
Yeah.
because without it, I'm back here, and
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah. And
that's
that's
just
what I do too. That's what I do too. But
right. So
my chairs are not, they don't have I'm not worried about the cushiness of my chairs. I'm worried about the fact that you can feel the frames. They're so old
right.
that,
That's where you need to do pillows and
yeah, right. Okay. Okay. Well, I can try that. I can try that. Yes. Good.
yeah.
Okay.
That
Well, I
that
have
I mean,
pillows, so
I
yeah.
I have, I mean, I finally a few years ago said to my husband, I made a mistake 16 years ago when I bought the sofa. I had no idea that it was uncomfortable. It caused me neck pain and back pain from the first day I sat on it.
Really.
Um, and I stopped watching TV 16 years ago because I couldn't sit on it. I was so uncomfortable. I would sit in the
Yeah.
kitchen and look all the way across and not be next to my husband. And
Wow.
then finally one day I go, listen, if you want me there, I have to get a new one. And I got rid of this huge wraparound sofa
Yeah.
that worked great for my extended family to come over during Passover and lounge all over it. and got a regular size sofa,
Yeah.
top back, and it was a big deal to find it, and it's comfortable.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
And I mean, it's leather. So
Right.
because I was sick of fabric, all that sort of stuff. So,
Right.
but it's a really nice leather, but it wasn't an expensive. I mean, it was lazy boy, it
Right.
was
Right.
what
Right.
we
Right.
was what we could afford.
Mm.
Um, but the thing is, I never have to put a pillow behind me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I
That's
haven't
fantastic.
had a sofa like that in years. The
Wow.
original sofa we had 30 years ago never had to put a pillow behind. That other sofa for 16 years was deadly. You
Oh,
just
wow.
sunk into it. So
Yeah.
I like my family, we like to sit upright. We don't like swooshing into furniture.
Right. Right.
And so I can appreciate what you're saying.
Mm.
And so what you do when it's too hard and stuff, you put your own version of the
Yeah.
pillow that you need,
Yeah.
or it's
Okay.
a shawl, a thick, cashmere shawl.
Blanket.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
blanket.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
I can do that. I can do that. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then
Okay.
you make yourself comfortable, and know that in all of the world we weren't meant to be too comfortable anyway. Too comfortable
Right.
means you won't get up and do anything.
Yeah. Also, you won't, go, you won't be able to escape the woolly mammoth that's chasing you.
That is correct. And on occasion, even in the modern day, there is a woolly mammoth, and that woolly mammoth could be a step when you're walking from one step to the other.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. Totally.
That's a nasty woolly mammoth.
Right.
Just
I
saying.
haven't seen the dog.
You don't know what I
First
did.
time. This is the first time.
Okay, they're lying down. You know what I
Okay.
did? What happened yesterday? My girlfriend came over because she needed to borrow one of my dog beds to
Mhm.
take home with her. And it's a four-sided dog bed, and her dog is pishing, and so she wants to give him
Ah,
something for
mm,
right now. So I had that Milo came to us with. And so and the dogs greeted her at the front door. She comes in and she's like, I don't understand. Why is Milo snuggling with me? He never snuggles. Where's the other dog? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they've decided that, Honey gets everybody else, Milo gets you. And she goes, but that's strange. And a couple times my ringer went off on my phone of my front door, my front porch, video surveillance went off. And I would just take a quick look. I thought, did I get a delivery? Nothing. 5 minutes later, she goes, that's really strange. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's really strange. What was I thinking? Next thing I hear, bark, bark, bark. And I go, huh, I hear a dog out in the
oh.
bark, bark, bark. Then I hear bark, 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 bark. And I go, oh my God, that's her. She's outside. Somehow she had gone out the front door and I left her out there, not knowing
Aw.
she didn't come back in. So I'm glad you asked. I went and ran to
To make sure that she's there.
I go, oh my God, I'm turning into one of those people.
Aw.
The old lady whose dogs are out and she doesn't even know. And she thinks her house is just really quiet.
Well,
I should,
I really, this is very much the first time
it
since
is the
I've
first.
known you that I haven't seen a dog.
I wonder why. I wonder if they have a stomach ache, something suspicious. I'll
Maybe
have to
they
get
need aloe vera.
I'll give them some aloe vera. I gave everyone slippery elm
Oh,
this morning.
really? Is
Yeah,
that
because
for
there
the
was
stomach too?
it's for the intestines. So
Oh,
and stomach and esophagus. So if people have acid reflux,
right.
it helps with that too. But if
Slippery
there's a
elm.
digestive woe in the descending colon,
Uh-huh.
like diarrhea or
Oh,
constipation,
I have to
the
write that down too.
yeah,
Slippery elm. Okay.
slippery elm
All right.
really helps with acid reflux, and it helps with digestive woes like diarrhea and constipation. It coats the lining with that beautiful plant supplement, so it's not coating it with Pepto Bismol.
Bismol,
Yeah,
exactly,
Pepto
exactly. Well, that's
Bismol.
very helpful. It's these are very good for me.
Well,
Oh,
then
I
you can
just lost
even
you.
add to slippery elm, if you really need to pull out the big guns, you bring out marshmallow root.
Marshmallow root. I've
Marshmallow.
heard of this. I've heard of
M-A,
this.
yeah, marshmallow, Mallow.
Okay.
It comes from the mallow plant, I think.
That's amazing. Mallow root. Okay.
Let's see if
Great.
I will show you. Hold on.
Oh my God, it's already 11.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. So let's go. And I will see you.
In 2 weeks, yeah. Yeah, 2 weeks. Which
In
is March, right?
March 2nd.
Yeah, I thought it was March. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I made an appointment that day.
That's
Darn it.
okay. That's okay. It can be another day.
Could we do uh the same time on Friday the 3rd, March 3rd?
Friday is the only day I can't do.
No worries. How
I can
about
do
Tuesday the 28th?
Tuesday the 28th. I can't do that either. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No
I don't
worries.
like, usually I'm very flexible. What about, um,
I could do our regular time on Wednesday, March 1st, but then I'm really tight. I have to end on time.
that's okay. I can actually be ready earlier if you want. If
Okay.
you want to really be, I'll be ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna
March
put,
1st,
yeah.
number one, which is a Tuesday, Monday.
Hold on. What did we just say? 10 o'clock.
I think you said Monday.
Yeah, no, I think I said, hold on. Ah, shoot. 1 sec.
Wednesday,
Oh,
you said. Or
yes.
no, wait a minute.
Something just got messed up. Do we say, wow.
Oh, this is very strange. Wait a minute. I'm all confused now.
That's okay. My thing isn't,
Thursday, February 30th is the last day of February.
okay.
Oh no, wait a minute. February is
Tuesday,
oh no, and
Monday.
that's right.
I keep saying
Wednesday is March 1st.
Wednesday. Wow, that is just not working out of my mouth. Wednesday, March 1st.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it manually.
Yes, that's gonna be fine
Okay.
for me.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. There. Wednesday, March 1st.
At 10 o'clock sharp, I'm
10
gonna say.
o'clock, 10 o'clock my time. Where are you
It's
living?
the same time. I'm in
Oh
San
God, you're in
Francisco.
Northern California. Ah, okay. Fantastic. I will see you then, and then we'll get it back on our regular schedule.
Okay, thank you. Schedule, yes. Thank you so much, Elinor. Have a wonderful couple of weeks.
You
See you
too.
then.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.